Let's talk about where it all began. Not just art, but us, humans. You see, before we could speak, before we had words to string together and make sense of our thoughts, we had a desire, a need to mark our place in this unforgiving world. And that, my friends, is where art begins. Picture it, the dawn of humanity, a time when the world was wild and untamed. Surrounded by nature's raw beauty, we saw potential in every rock, every piece of wood, every smear of mud. We didn't have language yet, but we had vision. The first time one of us picked up a stone and chipped away to make a tool, that wasn't just survival, that was creation. Making something out of nothing. And to create, that's art. But we didn't stop there. We went further. We took bones, the remains of animals we hunted, and we marked them. We scratched lines and patterns into them, maybe to count days, maybe to record a thought, maybe just because it felt right. Those marks, they're the first carvings, the first time we looked at something dead and brought it back to life through our own hands. We were beginning to understand that we could leave a piece of ourselves behind, a sign that we were here, that we mattered. Art isn't just what we can see. It's also about what we hear and how we present ourselves. Somewhere along the line, one of us figured it out that when you strike two stones together, they sing. So, we made music. Not for survival, not to fill our bellies, but to fill something deeper inside of us. The rhythm of the stones, the haunting note of the hollowed bone flute, those were the first songs, the first echoes of human soul. And with music came dance. I want you to hit that like button like your life depends on it. And if you are not subscribed, please do. Thank you. And then there was a way we turned our bodies into art. We weren't content just to survive. We wanted to stand out, to be seen. We painted our skin, wore beads, tattooed ourselves. We were telling the world, this is who I am. This is how I want you to see me. It wasn't just decoration. It was identity. It was belonging. It was a statement in the world where nothing was certain. Out there, in the wild, we started to see the world as our canvas. We made our marks where we stood, simple dots, line scratches into the rocks. You would think nothing fancy. They were everything. These were the first messages, the first time we said, I was here, I left something behind. Those dots and lines, they are still out there, whispering our story to anyone who cares to listen. As we ventured further, we found ways to communicate it through images. Genevieve von Petzningen's work has unearthed 32 distinct signs that appear over and over again in Ice Age art across Europe. Simple symbols, dots, lines. You can check the interview that I have done with her. The link will be in the description of this episode. These signs meant something. They were our first attempts to write down our thoughts, our beliefs, our fears. We were trying to make sense of the world, to communicate across time and space. These signs were the beginning of writing, of civilization, of everything that we now know and cherish. And then, finally, we came to the caves. The dark, hidden places where we went to create our greatest masterpieces. We took ochre, charcoal, whatever we could find, and we painted animals, figurines, abstract shapes. They were more than pictures. They were stories, prayers, dreams. These paintings are our first steps into the realm of spiritual, the sacred, the profane. They are the proof that we then, as we are now, more just than animals. And something is driven inside of us, by the need to create, to express, to connect. I dislike the fact that early researchers described these people as savages, or even noble savages. And our closest cousins, the Neanderthals, became synonym for not being intelligent. But they buried their dead. They made art. They had their own language, their own culture. As I sit here, reflecting on these ancient expressions, I realize that creativity was always been at the heart of our species. From the crafting of tools to the creation of the cave paintings, our ancestors was driven by desire to shape the world, to communicate, and to leave something lasting behind. These early artistic impulses offer us a window into our distant past, helping us understand not just the artifacts, but the very essence of what we are, who we are. So the next time you pick a pen, carve a shape, or hum a tune, remember you are part of something ancient, something eternal. You are part of human story, the story that begins with the first artists and continues with us today. This concludes this episode. I want to thank you for joining and listening. I hope I inspired you. I hope you learned something.